Pentagon has released a third batch of UFO files, giving new insight into potential extraterrestrial life. Among these files, they released this video captured by an eyewitness last July showing two bright orbs appearing to move in tandem in the northeast sky. What could be spookier? Is it aliens? Adding fuel to the conspiracy theorists, the Vatican is withholding additional UFO files. Why would they do that? Here to discuss is Michael Shermer, founding publisher of Skeptic magazine and the host of the podcast, The Michael Shermer Show. Michael, thank you so much for being here. So you are a top debunker. Are aliens real? And if they're not, why do a majority of Americans believe that they are?
Well, first of all, I'm not just a debunker, although there is a lot of bunk that needs debunking, but really we want to understand the scientific nature of any mystery. And the UAP UFO phenomenon is a long one. The U just stands for unidentified. That just means there's a handful of things we can't explain. Even the hardcore ufologists say that 90 to 95% of all sightings are ordinary terrestrial phenomena that we can explain. So we're really left with a residue of anomalies, and that's why we have the Galileo Project. We have the new group that Avi Loeb just formed that I'm part of, the UAP Science Advisory Council from the White House. Let's get to the bottom of this. Enough stories, enough grainy videos and blurry photographs and anecdotes about spooky things in the night sky. Let's get some detailed data that we can actually analyze.
Do you believe in aliens?
Well, I make a distinction between, are aliens out there somewhere in the cosmos? I think very probably yes, because of the large numbers. Have they come here? I think very probably no, because of the vast distances in interstellar space. The chances of them, getting here is very low. The evidence that they are here is very iffy. It's not very clear. Even all the stories we hear, I know somebody that says they saw the alien spaceship or touched the aliens. Okay, who is this? Oh, we can't tell you, it's classified. Well, where are they? We can't tell you, it's classified. Okay. Or these people are afraid for their lives or whatever. It's always the same. We can never get to the actual person or the warehouse. I mean, I'd like to see Marco Rubio with a camera crew at Area 51 in the warehouse. It goes, there it is. There's the spaceship. I was wrong. It's true. The government has them. Okay, so that we can all see it. That's all we're asking for.
More transparency. Well, what about this? Can we pull up the new video that we just had up with the two lights moving in tandem? What could that be, what we're looking at there in that video?
Well, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that. There's several of these in the new batch. That could be first of all, it could be the planet Venus and the planet Jupiter. They're out now. I just saw them the other night, and it looks something like this. If you're walking along, which this person appears to do, it looks like the objects are actually moving. Another thing that people mistake is the SpaceX satellites, for the internet. There's now over 10,000 of these. I see them all the time. I live up in the mountains above Santa Barbara. It's very dark. And at night, even like I have a nice telescope, I'm looking at Saturn or Jupiter. Every time I look now, there's an object streaks across, and it looks like there's an object going around Saturn or Jupiter. It's not. It's one of the Starlink satellites zipping past in our own atmosphere. So people mistake that. They mistake the planet Venus, which is very bright. There's planes, there's birds, there's balloons, there's, reflected light off of the window from the light behind you. And in other words, these are the, 90 to 95% terrestrial ordinary phenomena that we can explain. There's still some weird ones in the new batch. There's like a potato-shaped object above the Cheyenne Mountains. Artist rendition based on an eyewitness testimony. Darn it, it's kind of frustrating. A lot of the videos that the Department of War released have big black boxes on them. What those are is redacted information of like what the object was that was, no, what the camera was. Where was the camera? Where was it focused? What was the zoom? What was the distance? So one of the things we're trying to do at the scientifically through the Galileo Project and the UAP Science Advisory Council is get the unredacted data. Like, where was this exactly? What time? And what was the distance? Can we triangulate that from some other cameras and maybe through eyewitness testimony, not by itself, but corroborated with some other data? That's the only way to really know, because otherwise we're all flawed in what we think we see.
Right. I wanted to ask you about something else. There's been a conspiracy theory in the media, driven by people like Candace Owens, that, Charlie Kirk was actually murdered by people who knew him. Today, Tucker Carlson came out and said, actually, it was Israel behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. Owens has suggested that his widow, Erica Kirk, was somehow involved. It's so devastating to hear things like this. People think that this could even impact jury selection. I mean, it's not like this is going to have no impact whatsoever. Why do people believe such obvious crap, and how best to go about disabusing someone who's knee-deep in this kind of a conspiracy theory? In the minute that we have left, Michael, I would love your insight on this question.
Oh, well, first there's the proportionality bias. The bigger the event, the bigger the cause, we think it must be to explain. So, Princess Diana, is a princess. She died by drunk driving, speeding, no seatbelt. But she's a princess, so it must have been the MI5 or the royal family or whatever. JFK cannot have been killed by a lone nut, or 9/11 could not have been conducted by 19 members of Al-Qaeda. Had to be something huge, right? Charlie Kirk was famous. So immediately, the cause can't be just this lone nut guy. It has to be something big, something extensive, right? So the mind goes to work on that. And of course, as you well know, it's always the Jews, like all groups, the Catholics and whoever gets targeted in history, but the Jews are an order of magnitude more attractive to conspiracists. And same thing with Israel. I mean, there's one Jewish state in the world. It's that big. Right? And there's all these other states, but why that one? And the American foreign policy in Israel. American has foreign policy with dozens of countries around the world. How come it's always Israel? Okay. So there's something about the Jews that goes back thousands of years for conspiracists, partly because whoever is successful is always targeted as they have power and we don't, and they're up to something behind closed doors that we don't get to know about. So whoever that is, could be Elon Musk or it could be, some big powerful corporation, but the Jews are usually successful, so wherever they are in a country during the diaspora, that's who gets targeted.
That's so well put, sadly. Michael Shermer, thank you for the work that you do. God bless and protect you, and come back very soon.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.